So I'll give an assignment that a user will type the starting point and the ending point. Then the user will click on this button and it's going to display all the odd numbers between the starting point and the ending point. That's the assignment I gave. So, but before we go into the assignments, let's quickly revise some things that I've taught us in one of our previous classes. Modulo. I explained that modulo stands for remainder after division. So let's say I have what is 6 divided by 3? Remainder what? Remainder what?
0.
0. Good. Thank you so much, sir. Remainder 0. So 6 modulo 3 will be 0. Modulo is mainly concerned with the remainder after division. So 6 modulo 3 is 0. Do we understand it? If you don't get it, let's look at another example again. Seven divided by 12. How many whole numbers? How many times can it go without? How many times?
1 remainder 5.
Good, thank you. 1 remainder 5. So 12
1
modulo.
remainder 5.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. 1 remainder 5. So 12 modulo 7 will be 5. You are welcome, man. So 12 modulo 7 will be 5. Any questions so far? Do we get the concept of modulo?
The sign, they didn't use division sign, is percentage.
Yes, because division will give you 1 point something. This is the modulo sign. For instance, if you say 6 divided by 3, this is going to give you 2.
Yes.
But if you use this is going to give you 0. Because this is the modulo symbol. And it's concerned with the remainder after division.
Okay. I get now.
Now, why are we learning this? Why am I revising this modulo part? What you can define what an even number is for us. We can define what an even number is for us. What is an even number?
Let me try. There are numbers that when
They are divisible by 2.
divided, it remains. They are divisible by 2 without remainder.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. These are numbers that when you divide by 2, there will be no remainder. That means when you pick any even number and you say modulo 2, the result will always be 0. The result will always be, like, it will always give you 0. Do we get it? Whenever you divide by 2,
Yes.
the remainder will always be 0. And odd numbers are numbers that when you divide by 2, the result will always be 1. That is, it will always remain 1. If you pick any odd number and you divide it by 2, it will always give you 1 as the remainder. 13 divided by 2, 6 remainder 1. 5 divided by 2, 2 remainder 1. 9 divided by 2, 4 remainder 1. just pick any odd number, it will always remain 1. Now, we've established that, we've dealt with that. Let's now go into the task. Now, when I click on this button, I want to get whatever is inside this place. Then get whatever is inside this place. Then display all the odd numbers between the numbers and put the result inside this div. Let's first get whatever is inside this place. So on click of this button, I want to say, let's say, get odd number. So let's get a function called get odd nums. So when I click on this button, it's going to call on this function. First is I want to get the starting point. So I'll give this an ID. I'll call it start. I'll give this another ID. I'll call it end. So let's see if you're able to get whatever is inside this place. Let starting point equals to start that value. I just call it start point, so that will be short. Then let end point equals to end that value. Let's display the two of them. So just want to be sure if you're able to get whatever is inside this, any of the two inputs. That's on it. I hope you are enjoying JavaScript.
Yeah.
Someone said we have 6 and 14, so we'll be able to get the two numbers. Next is this. I want to, in fact, let's start with this. Instead of even displaying odd numbers, let's start with displaying all the numbers between 6 to 14. According to the assignment I gave us in the last class, I told you that it should not include the last number. Even if the last number is an odd number, it should not include it. That is, let's assume I typed this here. It should stop at 11, not 13. It should not include the last, the ending point. But let's first display all the numbers, whether even or odd. Let's start with that. Then from there, we now see how to display the odd numbers alone. So I want to display all the numbers from 6 to, let's say, 10. Let's start with that. I'll move this now. You know, to display all numbers from 6 to 10, all numbers from 6 to 10, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I will run a code that looks like this. Let's do it step by step. Let I equals to 6 is 6 less than or equals to 10. I plus plus console log I. So this is going to look like this. I will be 6. Is 6 less than or equal to 10? Yes. It will enter this place. It will console log I, which is 6. I plus plus I becomes 7. Is 7 less than or equal to 10? Yes. It will enter this place. It will console log I, which is 7. I plus plus I becomes 8. Is 8 less than or equal to 10? Yes. It will console log I, which is 8. I plus plus I becomes 9. Is 9 less than or equal to 10? Yes. It will enter this place. It will console log I, which is 9. I plus plus I becomes 10. Is 10 less than or equal to 10? Yes. It will console log I, which is 10. I plus plus I becomes 11. Is 11 less than or equal to 10? No. Then it will terminate any question to this point. So this is going to display number from 6 to 10. 6 to 10. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is not where we are going to. Instead of 6 to 10, I want it to start from whatever number I put here. That is, if I type 4 here, it should be from 4 to 10. If I type 8 here, it should be from 8 to 10. If I type 1 here, it should be from 1 to 10. Let's do that together. So all I need to do is that I can set this to be, sorry, someone is about to join the class. You're welcome to class. So all I need to do is I want to get the starting point. That is, start from this point, which is this starting point. So this is going to start from I. I will be whatever number the user entered here. Let's assume the user entered 5 here. I will start from 5. Then from 5 it will start counting up. Let's assume the user entered 7 here. I will start from 7. From 7 it will count up. If the user entered 1 here, I will start from 1. Then it will start counting up. So let's run this and see if that is working to our test. So this is from 2 to 10. Let's play it. Let's say the user entered 8. This is from 8 to 10. Let's say the user entered 1. This is from 1 to 10. So let's say the user entered 1. This is from 1 to 10. Any questions so far? Hello everyone. Do we get my explanation?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so
Yes.
much, man. Thank you so much, sir. So instead of ending at 10, we don't want to end at 10. We want to end at whatever number the user entered here. So we bring this, instead of this being 10, will now be endpoints like this. So this is going to end at whatever number the user entered. So let's do that together. Let's say I want to start at 4 and end at 20. So this is going to give me, why is it not working? Let me check. Endpoints. I'm coming. Let's say, I'll just say alerts. I want to check why this is not working. 4, 9. Oh, so why wasn't it working? It's working now. Okay, so 4 to 9. Let's say I want it to be 8 to 20. It's not working. Let's look at it together and see why it's not working. Okay. 8:20 not working. 8:20. Okay, but the loop is not working. I is a starting point, which is 8. Is 8 less than or equal to 20? Yes, 8 is less than or equal to 20. It will enter this place, so you start to console 8 and then start counting up. Okay, I want to check something. Endpoint is not defined. Line 19. Let's go to 19. Okay. 8 and 20 not working. It's 20. Oops. It's not inside this loop. What am I doing wrongly? Let me write this loop. I think something is wrong with this loop that I can't figure out. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Start point. I less than colon. I plus plus. Okay, good. Is it's less than ending point. Something is wrong here. Something is wrong around this part that I'm just to figure out. Okay, let's do something. Okay, this is working. Okay. This is 8 and 20. I don't want to know what is wrong with 8 and 20. Oh. Okay, 12 and oh, I think there's something wrong with using 8 and 20. Oh. Now, I think I know what's wrong. Are you with me? Hello, everybody.
Yes.
Now, this has been a problem. Thank you so much. Now, this is the problem. The problem is that, you see, this is a string. This is a string. Now, when you are doing string comparison, 8 is greater than 20. As numbers, yes, 8 is lesser than 20. But in terms of string comparison, 8 is greater than 20. So that is why it's not working as expected. So I will convert this to number. That's why it's 8 and 20 wasn't giving us expected results. Okay, so I think this will work fine now. It's 20. So it's no longer going to see it as string. Now it's to see it as number. That's what we should have done. Okay. Any questions to this point? So we've been able to see the starting point and the ending point. The next is we want to just display the odd numbers there, not just the starting point, not just all the numbers, but only the odd numbers between the starting point and the ending point. And that is where the modulo we looked at, that is where it comes in. Modulo. That's where the modulo we looked at, that's where it comes in. Modulo means remainder after division. So what we will do is that we will check the value of index, we will divide it by 2, we will see if the result is 1. That is, if the remainder is 1, that means it's an odd number, then console it. But if it's not 1, don't console it. Don't console it. So we can say if index modulo 2, that is, whenever you divide by 2 and the remainder is 1, if you divide it by 2 and the remainder is 1, then that's when you should display this first. That's when you should display this first. Any questions so far? So this will display all the odd numbers between 3 and 40. We have this, but there's a little part we need to fix. And let me check the graph. Okay, we don't need to. I thought this was lesser than or equal to, but since it's just lesser than, we don't need to fix that part. Now, lastly, according to the assignment I gave us, I did not ask us to display it in the console. Instead, I asked us to display the result inside this div. Let's look at that part together. Again, we are not to display the result in the console. Instead, to display the result within this div. Let's see how we can do that together. So we give this div an ID. We can call it display. So instead of using console log, we say display dot inner text equals to index display dot inner text equals to index. Let's look at the problem with this and we'll fix the problem together. So 5 15. Now we only have 13 as a result, and you may be surprised or you may be confused that why is it displaying 13. In fact, if you log into the console, you will see all the numbers. But somehow, when we try to display it inside a div, we only saw the last one. And here is the reason. Let's look at the reason together. Then you can see this is displaying all the numbers. Why this only display the last one? Here is the reason for that. I will comment out all of this. In fact, I may not even necessarily, I may not need to. Let's just create another element. I'll call this maybe show value. Now, if I say show value dot inner text equals to 7, and I say show value dot inner text equals to 12, and I say show value dot inner text equals to 20. Please, who can tell me what I will say inside show value?
20.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. 20. And the reason we see 20 is because it will first put 7, but then later it will replace it with 12. That is, 12 will override 7. Then it will replace it with 20. 20 will override 12. And because the last one here is 20, that's why we will only see the last one, which is 20. Do we understand? So let's now use a loop to do something like that inside the show value. Just use a small number. I is 0. Is 0 less than 3? Yes. It will say show value dot inner text equals to I. That is, it will place 0 inside show value. When it is done, it comes here, I plus plus, I becomes 1. Is 1 less than 3? Yes. It's going to say show value dot inner text equals to 1. That is, 1 will replace that 0. I plus plus, I becomes 2. Is 2 less than 3? Yes. Show value dot inner text equals to I, which is 2. So it's going to replace that 1 with 2. So I plus plus, I becomes 3. Is 3 less than 3? No. So to terminate the loop. So when you get to the browser, you will see the last number there, which is 2. The last number is displayed inside the show value. So it first placed 0, then 1 replaced 0, then 2 replaced 1. So at the end of the day, you only saw the last number. This is it. And that is what is happening here. If I say display the numbers between, let's say, 1 and 80, so you will see the last number, which is 79. This is 79 here. Do we get it? If you don't get it, kindly raise up your hand. Do you get the problem? When you understand the problem, it becomes easier for you to find a solution to it. So, alright. Thank you so much. So let's now go to the solution to this problem. Here's the solution. What we do is that, so we'll say, get whatever might be inside there initially, then concatenate the new one to it. What I mean is this. I is 0. Is 0 less than 3? Yes. It will enter this place. It will say show value equals to show value dot inner text, that is, get whatever might be inside there initially. There's nothing here, so this will just be empty string plus I, which is 0. So it's going to place 0 here. It's going to place 0 here. But the 0 to place there is like this. Because I explained to us in one of our classes that whatever you put inside a div like this, or whatever you retrieve inside using inner text dot value, it will always be a string. Always. I mean all times. It will always be a string. So the 0 will be like this. Let's proceed. I plus plus I becomes 1. Is 1 less than 3? Yes. Show value dot inner text equals to show value dot inner text, that is, get whatever might be inside it, which is this 0, plus I, which is 1. 0 plus 1. Now this is a string. String 0 plus 1 number. Then I told you that it will concatenate under our concatenation class. This will concatenate them together such that the result will look like this: 0, 1. When it's done, I plus plus I becomes 2. Is 2 less than 3? Yes. Show value dot inner text equals to get the initial value of show value dot inner text, which is this, then plus I, which is 2. Then the result will be like this. It will concatenate them again together so that you have 0, 1, 2. Then, of course, it will set this back. I plus plus I becomes 3. Is 3 less than 3? No. So at the end of the day, you will see 0, 1, 2 inside this place. Any question? If you don't get it, kindly raise up your hand. So I'm going to the screen. That is why we have this 0, 1, 2. And it is this same concept that we're going to use for our home task, the assignment I gave us. So I will remove this. I'll remove this. So instead of saying equals to index, we will say get the initial value this is going to give you all the now. Wow. Okay, let's talk about this. So this is giving us all the numbers: 9 followed by 11, followed by 13, followed by 15. But then this does not look cool enough. Does not look cool enough. So what we want to do is that instead of displaying them together, each number can be in a line. So I think that would be an opportunity for me to explain the difference between inner text and inner HTML. Inner text and inner HTML. I think we've looked at it together, but tonight will be like a revision to that. You see, what I want to do is that after each one, I can break, that is, add a BL tag, break to the next line. Add a BL tag, break to the next, that is, after this line, after displaying 9, break. Then display the next one, break. Display the next one, break. Display the next one, break. On and on like that. So for now, I will change this to inner HTML. I will still explain the difference between them better. And we still have the same result, just like before. No difference for now. No difference, just like before, no difference. But here is where the difference now comes in. Whenever it's time to add HTML tags, you see, inner HTML understands HTML codes. Inner text does not. That is, if I add HTML codes to this, inner HTML will understand it. I will just come here and I will add h1 tag. Hello. So this is h1 tag. Now when I get to hit the screen, and you can see this understands h1, but because of this inner text, that's why it's not working perfectly. Hello. But if this was to be inner text, it's not going to give us what we want. It will just display as ordinary text. This does not understand HTML codes. You can see it just displays as ordinary text. So what you're going to do now is that we change this to inner HTML, so that we can now add a break tag to it. That is, after each one, break. Break is a self-closing tag. So I use it like this. So after each one, break to the next line, and this should solve our problem. 2 and 20. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, like that. So we can shorten this code a bit. We can interpret this as plus equals to index. Display.inner text equals to display.inner text plus index. So you can reduce it to plus equals to. It's still the same thing. That is, this is the same as just saying display.inner text equals to display.inner text plus index. Yeah, we have this. We still have the same result. Any question? Any question? Do you understand? Okay. So, we are handing off here today, but I need to quickly talk about this. In the last class, none of us submitted our assignments. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. So, today we are not going to do any, I'm not going to give you any assignments. Next class we look at array. We looked at loop. In next class we're going to look at array. Then we combine the array with the loop. See, but you see in programming, the way you learn programming is by practicing, by you attempting this assignment. If I will notice something, if I teach you in class like this, you will understand it, or you will think you understand it. Let me put it like that. You will think you understand it. But when it's time to now try, that's when you can know whether you really understand it or not. Please attempt these assignments. Try them out. Try them out. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming to class.